Good day everyone. Today we will have a very important thing to discuss that is very hot and very interesting to discuss with. The discussion will be all about China's debt traps and land grabbings. May I present you Mr. Jake Alcomendas. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you everyone.
He is the head of the journalism department who is also very fond of reading articles about social issues. He will be our panelist. Before we discuss specific country lands, let's talk about on the seas first. So Mr. Alcomendas, can you discuss what is the 9-dash line that was being used by China to clarify our audience?
The 9-dash line is what China used in order to claim sovereignty in some area in Southeast China Sea. That includes Paratas Islands, Paracel Islands, Spratly Islands, and Scarborough Shoal.
Now, as anyone has questions?
So, I just want to ask, what does this 9-dash look like, and is it even considered a legal way of making mines?
Thank you for that question. It was actually U-shaped. It was former 11-dash line that was published by the Republic of China in December 1, 1947. And actually, this theory is not actually viewed as a legal basis for the reclamation of land due to its lack of historical rights.
So, what are the issues regarding the 9-dash line theory? Dash line theory.
Actually, this theory have undergone so many controversies because even though the Republic of China said that they will not act like as if they own the land, their military bases keeps on roaming around the land. That's why on 2013, the Philippines filed a case against China regarding this because the China has no historical rights to claim such lands.
Thank you for all of your questions. Now let us proceed to the other topic questions. What are the debt traps and how can this be connected to land grabbing? Also, how come China was always linked on this issue?
Okay. So debt traps are types of diplomacy that is based on debt, where the creditor has an underlying aim to control the economic or the politics in the certain country of the debtor. Usually, they use this in some infrastructure programs. That is why China is always connected in this because China uses this mostly in the infrastructure program on those undeveloped or undeveloped countries in the world, such as Pakistan, Philippines, and Vietnam.
Now, thank you, Mr. Alcomendas, for the clarification. Does anyone want to raise their questions?
So, based on what you have said what are the countries that have fallen in these traps and cite specific examples from those countries.
China is very well known for using these debt traps to their infrastructure programs on those developing countries. Here are the top three countries that I know that was been fallen in this kind of debt traps by China. First is the Pakistan. They have a $6 billion debt in the China due to the infrastructure programs. And the Chinese are expecting to with 34% of return of investment with those each infrastructures for 30 years. Next is the Montenegro. Montenegro is a small country in Europe where there are only nearly 900,000 of people. So, due to this population, they don't have highways. Because of this, the first highway was being made because of the help of China, where they lent almost $900 million to the country in order to start that highway. However, the highway is not yet finished, and they need another $1.2 billion in order to finish that. And according to their government, they will keep on trying and borrowing on the China. And last is, and the most commonly, is the Sri Lanka. The Hambantota port, actually that was the name of the port, was actually a program that was been based last 2010, that was being signed by the Chinese and the Sri Lankan government, where the Chinese was lend the Sri Lanka with almost $1.1 billion in order to make this as possible. However, due to the losses, the Sri Lanka government was forced to lease this port with the China for 99 years, with over 70% of ownership by the China and over 15,000 acres of area around that port was also been controlled by China for over 99 years.
Will that be all? Any other hands? Okay.
So, based on the discussion, can we view this as a neocolonialism?
Personally, such behaviors can be considered as way to colonize a country, especially in the modern society. However, I can say that this is not really, cannot be considered as neo-colonialism, as we see that it does not really threatening the sovereignty of the lands where they are actually, they made an investment with. Actually, those countries are not that truly under control by them. Actually, the sovereignty in those countries are still evident.
Thank you for your active participation. Since we don't have any much time, let's proceed to the last topic question. Due to the nature of build program, as the Chinese government led us to find this program, or fund rather, are we likely to be in the same situation of those mentioned countries? Mentioned countries a while ago?
Well, I think I can say that we're already in the downside of the hill. However, we can't really say that those things up right now, because we can only see the difference or its consequences once the China wants the payments from us, and that is another story.
That that was a nice discussion. Thank you everyone for your participation for this panel discussion to happen, especially to Mr. Alcomendas. Sir, thank you for the time, especially you given for this until the next. Have a good day everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.